Wealth, my friends, is not something that must be hunted or chased with anxious striving. Many live in fear of scarcity, thinking that money is outside of them, far away, and difficult to obtain. Yet the truth is far simpler, far more glorious, and entirely within your grasp. Money, like all blessings, already exists in the invisible supply, in the divine storehouse, a limitless reservoir of abundance from which all things flow. When you accept this principle, you release yourself from the struggle and enter into a state of expectancy and peace, which is the true magnet for riches. To see money as something to be fought for is to see it through the eyes of limitation. Those who act in fear, who worry over bills and debts, attract lack, for fear always calls to itself its own reflection. But when you turn your mind and heart to the invisible supply, when you know that the abundance of the universe is already yours, you open the door for miracles to flow. The first step, therefore, is to recognize that money is not scarce. It is not limited to a few chosen individuals. It is not withheld from you as punishment or oversight. It is everywhere, flowing through channels seen and unseen, waiting to be claimed by those who understand its spiritual law. This law is as simple as it is powerful. What you affirm in your consciousness must manifest in your outer world. The storehouse is infinite, but it responds to your word, your belief, and your vision. When you begin to think in terms of sufficiency and abundance, when you declare your right to wealth, with conviction and without doubt, you are aligning yourself with the forces that bring money to you. Every transaction, every encounter, every opportunity carries within it the potential for provision. You must train your mind to see these opportunities, to recognize the gifts that come in forms unexpected, to open your hands and accept them with gratitude. The invisible supply does not appear in a vacuum. It moves toward those who are in harmony with it, who do not struggle against life, who do not insist that it come in a particular shape, manner, or timing. When your consciousness is filled with lack, when your words and thoughts speak of insufficiency, you are setting up a barrier, an invisible wall between yourself and the riches that are yours by divine right. Yet the moment you turn from fear, declare the fullness of the invisible supply, and act as though you are already a recipient of abundance, the law moves on your behalf. It flows through channels you cannot yet see, through people, opportunities, and ideas that will present themselves as if by magic, for indeed it is the magic of spirit responding to your word. Remember, dear ones, money is not something you earn by toil alone. It is something you magnetize by thought, faith, and expectation. The invisible supply is not judgmental. It does not limit itself to those with privilege or status. It is the very life force of the universe, flowing to those who understand and use its laws. Claim your share boldly. Speak your word of abundance. See yourself already in possession of the money you desire. Trust that Spirit has placed it in the invisible storehouse, awaiting your recognition. As you dwell in this truth, fear disappears, worry fades, and peace, which is the foundation of all attraction, fills your heart. You begin to move in harmony with the rhythm of the invisible supply, knowing that money, like all good, cannot be withheld from one who aligns with divine law, and that the moment you affirm and expect, it flows toward you, invisible yet certain, waiting to take form in your life. The spoken word is a force more powerful than most realize. It is not merely a sound or a string of letters, it is a creative instrument, a wand through which the unseen forces of the universe respond. Every word you utter carries with it an energy that shapes your circumstances, molds your experiences, and calls forth the conditions of your life. Those who understand this principle understand the secret of all abundance and success. For the words you speak are the very commands that set the law of spirit into motion. When you speak of lack, limitation, or misfortune, you are unconsciously summoning those conditions into your life. Conversely, when you affirm prosperity, health, and joy, you are invoking the divine flow that brings these blessings to pass. The law is simple. The word, spoken with faith and conviction, cannot return void. It moves through the invisible realms and brings forth the reality that corresponds to it. Many people wonder why their desires are not fulfilled, why money seems distant, why opportunities pass them by, and yet they fail to recognize that their own words are the instruments of their experience. The habit of complaining, of speaking doubt, fear, or need creates a barrier between the individual and the abundance that is their rightful inheritance. To use your word as your wand is to speak only those things that you wish to see manifested. You are to declare with full assurance what you desire and do so as if it is already in your possession. For the universe does not measure time as you do. It responds to the certainty of your word, not the calendar of your thinking. Imagine yourself holding a wand that shapes reality. Every statement you make, every declaration of belief or intention, waves this wand before the unseen forces, directing them to arrange circumstances that correspond to your affirmation. Speak of prosperity, and the channels of supply open. Speak of ease and opportunity, and doors swing wide. Speak of health, and vitality fills your being. The word is never idle. It moves unseen yet inexorably toward manifestation. Yet, to speak without faith, to murmur half-hearted wishes, is to dilute its power. The word must be strong, clear, and confident. Say, "Send money flows to me in perfect channels. Opportunities arrive now in abundance. I am wealthy, prosperous, and secure, and you will see the invisible forces begin their work immediately." Do not be concerned with the how, the where, or the when. The universe responds to the command, not the method. Your role is to declare and to believe, holding your word as sacred, knowing that it is the wand through which Spirit moves on your behalf. Practice this daily, in thought, in speech, and in quiet meditation. Observe the ways in which your life begins to respond, often in miraculous forms. A gift, a chance meeting, an unexpected payment. These are the results of the word spoken in faith. Soon, the habit of conscious speech becomes second nature, and your words will no longer be idle chatter, but deliberate instruments of creation. Through this understanding, you realize the profound responsibility and privilege of your speech. To speak is to act. To speak with faith is to command the law of Spirit, bringing to pass that which you affirm. Those who master the use of the spoken word find that life becomes a canvas upon which they paint their desires, that abundance is drawn to them, and that the invisible supply, already theirs, now manifests with precision and ease, responding to the wand that is their own confident and faithful word. Fear and faith are the twin forces that govern the flow of abundance in your life. Yet they operate in opposite directions. Fear is a repellent. It pushes away the very blessings you desire, creating barriers and obstacles that seem insurmountable. Faith, on the other hand, is a magnet. It draws to you what you confidently expect. Many people labor under the misconception that money, health, or success comes through struggle, anxiety, or desperate striving. They fret over bills, debts, or what they lack, believing that worry somehow secures their provision. But the laws of Spirit operate differently. The universe cannot respond to fear. When your mind is filled with doubt, worry, or apprehension, the invisible channels of supply are closed. Fear sends a message to the unseen. I do not trust. I do not believe. I am not ready. And the law, impartial and exact, responds by withholding the very thing you seek. Faith, however, opens the channels. It signals to the unseen forces, and I am ready. I believe. I claim what is mine by divine right. Faith is not a weak hope or wishful thinking. It is a firm, unwavering expectation, a knowing that what you affirm must come to pass. To attract large sums of money or any blessing quickly, you must cultivate this quality of faith. You must refuse to entertain thoughts of lack or limitation. Doubt, hesitation, and fear are the enemies of swift manifestation. When they arise, acknowledge them and release them, replacing them with the assurance of supply. Affirm, I am divinely provided for. Abundance flows to me now in perfect ways. I trust the unseen supply. Repeat these words until they become a reality within your consciousness. The power of faith lies in its consistency. It is not a fleeting moment of hope, but a sustained, conscious alignment with the law of abundance. The Spirit moves according to the steadiness of your belief. The more unwavering your faith, the more rapidly the results manifest. Observe the world around you. Those who struggle and lack often do so, not because the supply is absent, but because their faith is weak. They look at appearances, see the empty pockets, the bills, the obstacles, and their eyes deceive them. They judge the invisible by the visible, and thus they block the very law they wish to invoke. To overcome this, you must train yourself to ignore appearances, for they are merely shadows. Focus instead on the unseen reality, the infinite supply that is already yours. Speak your word with confidence, act as though your needs are already met, and cultivate an inner peace that fear cannot disturb. When you do this, money begins to flow in ways you could not have anticipated. Opportunities arise, unexpected gifts appear, and circumstances align, as if by miracle, all because your faith has opened the channels. Remember that fear never secures anything. It only delays, obstructs, and repels. Faith, in contrast, is immediate, responsive, and powerful. It is the hand that reaches into the invisible supply and draws forth what is rightfully yours. Practice replacing every anxious thought with a declaration of trust. Let your heart be free from worry, your mind free from doubt, and your speech full of confident expectation. In this way, you become a magnet for abundance. The law is consistent, impartial, and exact. It does not negotiate, it does not argue. It responds to the presence of faith and the absence of fear, and when you master this principle, you discover that money, health, and opportunity flow to you effortlessly, rapidly, and in ways more miraculous than you could have planned or imagined, for the universe moves to meet the measure of your belief. One of the greatest obstacles to attracting wealth quickly is the human tendency to dictate the how and when of its arrival. Many insist that money must come from a particular source, at a particular time, in a particular form, and in doing so, they bind the hands of the Spirit and limit the infinite supply. The law of abundance operates on principles far higher than human reasoning. It is not concerned with your small plan or your limited understanding. It moves in accordance with divine order, which always knows the perfect way for provision to appear. To release the how is to acknowledge that the universe is infinitely more capable than you are of arranging the details. When you focus on the means rather than the end, you interfere with the miraculous flow that could bring greater, unexpected blessings than you could imagine. Many who desire quick financial gain fret over details. Will it be a check, a gift, a bonus, or a contract? This worry, this insistence on controlling the method, blocks the channels. The law of spirit is impartial. It responds to belief, to expectation, to the words spoken in faith, but it will not be bound by human limitation. When you affirm wealth, abundance, or provision, your job is to speak and believe. The universe's job is to arrange the method. This requires surrender, a conscious letting go of the need to see the mechanism. By doing so, you invite miracles, for divine intelligence can move in ways beyond imagination. Money may arrive through avenues you never expected, a friend returning a favor, a forgotten debt being repaid, an unexpected opportunity appearing, or a gift delivered at the precise moment it is needed. The Spirit delights in surprise, in arranging supply in perfect order, far more elegant than any human plan. When you release the how, you move from limitation into freedom. Your mind, no longer cluttered with anxious scheming, becomes a receptive vessel. Your energy is no longer consumed by worry, but directed toward expectancy and affirmation. You begin to notice signs, opportunities, and doors opening, often in ways too subtle for those who demand the details to recognize. The more you trust the law and release the insistence on the method, the faster the manifestation. This is why so many declarations of wealth fail. The words are spoken, but the mind is chained by doubt and control. Expectation is weakened by insistence. True manifestation requires that you hold the end result firmly in your consciousness while letting the Spirit orchestrate the means. Affirm, I now attract large sums of money in perfect ways. I do not need to know how or when. I trust the divine intelligence to provide exactly what I need. Repeat this with conviction. Observe carefully, for the universe will answer in unexpected ways. A gift may appear, a debt may be forgiven, a door may open, or an opportunity may present itself. These are the workings of divine order, flowing in perfect harmony with your faith. When you insist on controlling the process, you interfere with this natural flow. When you release it, miracles occur with astonishing swiftness. You begin to see that the supply is not only abundant, but also creative, responding in ways that exceed even your grandest expectations. Surrendering the how is not passive, it is active faith, an energetic alignment with the unseen forces that govern provision. It is a practice of trust, of letting go of the small, limited human mind and embracing the infinite intelligence of spirit. This is the secret to rapid manifestation. By speaking the word, holding the vision, and releasing control over the method, you allow the invisible supply to move freely. Abundance arrives, often in unexpected and delightful ways, faster and more perfectly than if you had attempted to dictate every step yourself, and your life begins to reflect the effortless operation of divine law, where money, opportunities, and blessings flow naturally to those who know how to receive. Gratitude is the secret key that opens the doors of the invisible supply. It is not simply a polite acknowledgement of what you have received, but a spiritual magnet that attracts more blessings into your life. Many people wait to feel grateful after they have received, but the law works in reverse. Give thanks in advance, and the universe moves to fulfill your expectation. By expressing thanksgiving before the money arrives, before the opportunity appears, you are demonstrating faith and aligning yourself with the flow of abundance. This principle is one of the most powerful tools in manifestation, for it communicates to the invisible that you are ready, deserving, and expecting. When your mind and heart are filled with gratitude, you are in harmony with divine law. The Spirit does not withhold from those who recognize and appreciate the supply, even before it is visible. It is as if the universe says, "You have acknowledged my abundance, therefore it is already yours." The act of giving thanks in advance shifts your consciousness from lack to plenty, from fear to expectancy. It removes the tension, the worry, and the doubt that often block the channels of provision. A thankful mind is an open mind, a receptive heart ready to receive the blessings that are already flowing invisibly. Many fail to manifest quickly because they focus on absence, on the unmet need, rather than on the bounty that is on its way. By cultivating the habit of gratitude, you reverse this process. Begin each day with thanksgiving. Speak aloud, "I give thanks for the abundance that flows to me now. I see the invisible supply, and I rejoice in it. I am thankful for the opportunities, the gifts, and the prosperity that is mine by divine right." Let these words fill your consciousness until doubt cannot enter, until expectation becomes as natural as breathing. Gratitude is not mere words. It is a feeling, an attitude of the heart. When you combine the spoken affirmation with the inner emotion of thankfulness, you create a powerful current that the universe cannot resist. It is a law as certain as gravity. The more thankful you are, the more reasons the Spirit will provide for you to be thankful. Notice the world around you. Opportunities often come wrapped in ways that are not immediately recognized. A chance meeting, a delayed payment, a sudden insight, these are all Expressions of the invisible supply, responding to your gratitude. By thanking in advance, you attune yourself to recognize and receive them. You no longer see obstacles or limitations, for your focus is on the blessings already in motion. Gratitude also transforms your vibration. It raises your thoughts, your feelings, and your expectations to a higher level, which is essential for rapid manifestation. Money, like all good, flows to those who are in harmony with abundance, not to those who dwell in worry or complaint. By maintaining a constant attitude of thanks, you send a clear signal to the unseen. You are ready to receive, you trust the law, and you are aligned with the flow of prosperity. This practice of advanced thanksgiving can change the speed and ease with which money arrives. It clears the mind of doubt, it lifts the spirit, and it opens the channels of opportunity and provision. The supply is always abundant, but it requires a heart that is open, expectant, and grateful. When you make thanksgiving a daily habit, when you affirm with joy the blessings yet unseen, you find that money flows swiftly, unexpectedly, and perfectly into your life. The universe responds to the vibration of gratitude, moving invisible resources into visible reality, and the more sincere your thankfulness, the more miraculous the manifestations that appear, confirming the power of faith expressed through joyful acknowledgement of the unseen abundance that is already yours. Time is but an illusion to the spirit, and the law of abundance does not measure its workings by human calendars. Many believe that manifestation requires weeks, months, or years. Yet the truth is that when the word is spoken with unwavering faith, the supply can appear swiftly, even within 48 hours or less. The speed of manifestation depends not on external conditions, but on the strength of your belief, the clarity of your affirmation, and the absence of doubt. Those who rush, worry, or demand results are often met with delay, for fear and impatience repel the very blessings they seek. To receive quickly, you must enter into a state of absolute expectancy. Speak your word boldly, and money flows to me now in perfect ways under divine order. I am ready to receive, and I accept the supply immediately. And do not allow your mind to wander to how it should appear or when it should come. The universe responds to certainty, not to anxiety. Expectation is the magnet, your thought is the signal, and spirit moves instantly to meet it. The miraculous speed of manifestation is evident in countless testimonies of those who have trusted the law. A word spoken in faith can create circumstances that defy human understanding. For the unseen forces are unlimited and infinitely creative. If you understand that time is an external measurement, while the law operates in the eternal now, you will recognize that what seems fast or slow is irrelevant. The essential factor is your alignment with divine law. When you speak your word and hold the vision with confidence, the channels open and supply begins to flow. The 48-hour period is not arbitrary. It represents the potential for rapid response when faith is pure, clear, and unwavering. You must therefore remove all thought of delay, doubt, or limitation. The moment you release hesitation and insistence, miracles occur. Money may arrive through the expected route or in entirely unforeseen ways. A forgotten debt may be repaid. A gift may appear. An opportunity may present itself, or a solution may come through inspiration. The Spirit orchestrates the details in perfect timing, often more swiftly than you imagined. To prepare for rapid manifestation, cultivate the habit of speaking your word consistently and with emotion. Visualize the result as already accomplished. Feel the joy, the relief, and the gratitude of having received. These inner states accelerate the response, for the law is sensitive to your vibration. As you maintain expectancy and faith, the invisible supply flows without obstruction. Remember, the law does not negotiate, it does not procrastinate. It responds immediately to clear, fearless, and unwavering affirmation. When you hold the end result in mind, speak it with confidence, and act as though it is already yours. the appearance of money can be astonishingly swift. The universe delights in bringing supply to those who expect and are ready. Do not be surprised if abundance arrives through unexpected channels, for divine intelligence always arranges provision in ways more perfect than your limited human understanding. The speed of manifestation demonstrates the efficiency of divine law, showing that it moves instantly to meet the measure of your faith. Those who master this principle discover that time is no obstacle, that money, opportunities, and blessings can appear suddenly, and that rapid provision is a natural result of alignment, expectancy, and the faithful speaking of the word. By trusting the law and holding unwavering belief, you become a magnet for swift manifestation, experiencing the miraculous reality that the invisible supply is already yours, and that the Spirit moves instantly to bring it into visible form.